Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, we shall see some more integer multiplication problems. So let me explain an example here. In this example, we want to evaluate an expression like this, minus xy, when the value of x is equal to negative 3 and the value of y is equal to negative 10. So that's what we have. So in here, step number 1, we'll write down the given expression. The given expression is negative xy, and wherever we see the values of x and y, we're going to substitute the given values. The equation came with a negative sign. The value of x we're going to substitute as negative 3, like that, and the value of y we're going to substitute as negative 10, like that. So in step number 2, we're going to simplify it some more, and then we're going to take two numbers at a time. Negative times negative is a positive 3, and then we're going to then multiply that by negative 10. Positive times negative, we'll simplify this, and then that we'll call that as step number 3. And positive times negative is a negative, 3 times 10 is 30. So that is where we want to leave it. So when we have to evaluate an algebraic expression which has variables of the form x and y, and if the values of the variable are given to us in terms of numbers, we can then substitute the values of the variables into the given expression, and then use the sign rule, use our times table to be able to arrive at the answer in this manner. Let's take another example. In this time, let's say we want to say what is negative 40 multiplied by 50. If we have a word problem of this nature, what is negative 40 multiplied by the number 50? So here what we want to do is convert this word problem into an equation. We have negative 40, a number negative 40, we'll put that in parentheses, and we want to multiply that by a number 50, which means positive 50. So the steps we talked about were as follows. A negative number multiplied to a positive number will all negative times positive will be a negative, and then 40 times 50 is going to be equal to 2000. One easy way to remember that is, you can write, whenever a number ends in 0, you write the zeros down first, and then 4 times 5 is 20. Put the 20 in front of those zeros, and then put the correct sign in front of them, and then we're done. So these are some easy ways of solving these types of problems. Let's look at another example. This time, in this example, is negative 3 a solution of an equation 12 equals to negative 4z? Let me write this, is negative 3 a solution of the expression 12 is equal to negative 4z? That is the question we have. And then to solve this, we're going to break it down into these different steps. We'll write down the given expression. He's asking us, is 12 is equal to 4z, and wherever we see z, we're going to substitute the value of negative 3 into the variable z. So in here, 12 is equal to negative 4 times negative 3. We have substituted the value of z as negative 3 in this expression. Therefore, we're going to simplify it some more. The left hand side number is 12, and the right hand side number, we want to simplify that. Negative number times a negative number is a positive number. 4 times 3 is a 12. Therefore, what we have on the left hand side is exactly equal to what we have on the right hand side, and therefore the value of the value negative 3 is a solution for this given expression. That is the way we want to express it. I want to mention a few more rules about multiplication. The rule of 0 is telling us, let me write this here, the rule of 0, this is related to multiplication. If we have a number and if we were to multiply by 0, the value will always going to be equal to 0. If I were to take a simple example, if I have a number 2, and then if I were to multiply that by 0, the value is always going to be equal to 0. The other rule is as follows: the rule of 1, the multiplication rule of 1. And what is this telling us? If I have a number a, and if I were to multiply by the number 1, the value is going to be the same as the original value, which is a. Example in this one would be, if I were to have a number 5, and if I were to multiply that by 1, it is not going to change the value of the original number 5, it will just remain the same. So any number multiplied by 1 will be the same number. Any number multiplied by 0 will go to 0. So these are some of the other rules related to multiplication which we want to keep in mind as we solve problems related to multiplication of integers. In my next presentation, we shall see how to divide integers.